Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Travelling Lawyer. This week I'll be going to Tweed Heads Local Court in northern New South Wales and also Bundaberg Magistrates Court in the Rum City in Queensland. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm on my way to Tweed Heads Local Court. I've got a mid-range drink drive down there for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Tuesday, pretty clear, but I do have to catch up on a lot of paperwork, some admin stuff. Wednesday, I've got a drink driving matter at Forster Local Court in New South Wales. Going to get an adjournment on that one, have one of my colleagues help out on that. And then Thursday, I've got a matter at Bundaberg Magistrates Court, so that'll be fun. A little bit of a drive away, but we'll get up there on Wednesday afternoon, stay the night in Bundaberg or Bargara, and Thursday we'll have the Bundaberg matter, and then on Friday I've got a Lismore matter at the District Court. So that's a client who contacted me who had a drug driving offence, got a conviction out of it, wants to appeal the conviction, so has put on a severity appeal to the Lismore District Court, so I'll be helping him out on that. And that should cover me for the week. Up here at Tweed Heads Local Court this morning, Monday 11th of March. Represented a client. She's a clinical nurse. I won't say which hospital, but she's has a very good character behind her. She's 59 years of age. She came off the back of working an extremely long shift in early February. She's separated, divorced, quite lonely at home. Made the decision on this occasion to go to the Tweed Heads Bowls Club to have a drink and watch a cover band. And on the way home, it was only about what was it? It was about 1.5 kilometres. It was about 1.5 kilometres home. She'd only driven about 800 metres, and she's pulled over for a random breath test. So the reading was 0.081 at the very bottom end of the mid-range category. She'd only had 3 drinks in about 5 hours, hadn't eaten for about 20 hours. So that may have played a part in the time it took for the alcohol to metabolise. It's a very windy day here at Tweed Heads. Let me just get in the car for a sec. So yeah, this was a reading that was by no stretch of the imagination in any way aggravated. It was a stock standard type of drink driving offence, 0.081, very bottom end of the mid-range category. No passengers in the car, late at night with minimal to no traffic around. She was pulled over for the purpose of a random breath test, a very short distance to drive, and the reading was quite low. And she cooperated with police. She was devastated to have made this foolish mistake. For a person who's been driving for 42 years with only about 11 more minor infringements on her record over a period of 4 decades. It was a relatively good and strong traffic record that she could present herself before the court to submit that this was extremely out of character for her. Never made this sort of mistake before in her life. So we were working as a nurse. It means that any recording of a conviction would have to be disclosed to APRA. Now, we were seeking a non-conviction. We also had to show that there was significant expenses that she had outlaid over the last month since being off the road in Uber and taxi receipts. So we got a bundle of Uber receipts to show that in the last 4 weeks she'd spent over $1,500 just on Uber receipts, and that was causing a significant financial burden. So we were asking that the court not proceed to conviction today, and put in place a conditional release order, which is like a good behaviour bond. And the magistrate agreed with our submissions and put her on a good behaviour bond for a period of 2 years. So she can resume her driving. She doesn't have to worry about a fine or having to put an alcohol interlock device in her car, and obviously no conviction recorded. She did everything I asked her to do. She went and did the traffic offenders program. She got some good, strong character references from colleagues within the medical industry. She put on a good, strong letter of apology to the court. Like I said, we got all the Uber receipts as a bundle to tender as evidence to show that the time off the road has cost her a significant amount of money. I was able to prepare a bit of a Google map printout just to show where she had driven from, where she was driving to confirm with the court the very short distance and intended route. And as mentioned, traffic offender program certificate was there. She completed that course. So very, very relieved client today. She said she hadn't slept a wink last night, and just extremely thankful that we got the outcome that we were pushing for. This is a person who hasn't barely put a foot wrong in the last in her entire 59 years of living. So I think it's extremely unlikely that I'll see this client again or back before the courts in any sort of negative way. Signing out here, tuning out at Tweed Heads Local Court. It's just a bit of an update on the weekly vlog of the travelling lawyer. I am headed up to Bundaberg. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow being Thursday, it's a pretty simple matter. It's a low range drink driving offence at Bundaberg Magistrates Court. I'm driving up today from the Gold Coast, and it's about a 4.5 hour drive. I'm going to stay at Bargara, which is about 15 minutes just out of Bundaberg, more on the coastline. It's a lot nicer part of the world to stay in. I stayed there about 6 months ago when I had a matter at Bundaberg, and I really enjoyed it. It was really peaceful and nice part of the region there. So I'm going to stay there at Bargara, same place I stayed at last time. Really enjoyed that. Tomorrow's matter, low range drink drive. The client's extremely nervous. He's never been to court before. He's got a number of he's on workers' compensation. He's had a hard run recently. He had a couple of major accidents in the workplace, and he seems to be quite mentally fragile. He's very concerned about going to court. So I'm going to go there, and we'll have all our ducks in a row. All the matters all prepared, ready to go, and we'll get in there and hopefully get him the minimum outcome tomorrow for his matter. But it's been a bit of a drive. I've just gone past Gympie, so I've probably got about a little less than 2 hours left to drive, and it's started to become very rural out here. As soon as you're seeing clear paddocks with cows grazing, that's when you know you're definitely out of the city. So it's been a very clear run so far, but thought I'd just drop an update, and we'll tune in again soon. Transition. So as you can see, coming in to Bundaberg, there's a massive amount of sugarcane farming going on. That's their main produce in this town, probably why it is a big rum city, rum town, where sugarcane's one of the main ingredients in that distillery process. But it's the earth around on the side of the road, it's so rich in colour, so it's obviously very fertile around here. Just going past a macadamia farm right now, so it's obviously a very rural town, but it appears to be a very clean sort of small Queensland town where most of the farmers and residents have quite a bit of pride in their surroundings. Just arrived into the Bundaberg township city part, and I've been driving for 4.5 hours. I'm pretty tired without a stop really, so I've just found a Snap Fitness gym and going to jump in, do a quick workout before I head off to my accommodation in Bargara. So I just arrived at my accommodation at Casey's Bargara Beach Motel. Stayed here about 6 months ago, really enjoyed it. The room I got this time around was on the ground level. It was not as good as the room I had last time. But, it was pretty basic and simple sort of motel style. The amazing thing about this place was the location. It's literally right across the road from the water here. And as you can see, the sun coming up, the sunset was just amazing on the beachfront of Bargara here. So I decided to get myself a hot coffee, grab my towel, my boardies, and head down for a swim in the ocean. An absolute beautiful and refreshing way to start off the day before I get ready and head back into Bundaberg town to do my matter at Bundaberg Magistrates Court this morning. Just on the way into town, and I noticed I was passing the Bundaberg Drinks Brewery. This is the brewery that makes all the Bundaberg ginger beer that we all sort of grew up on, know and love so much, and it's got a pretty cool barrel structure at the back of the brewery. I think you can go in there and obviously buy samples of all the drinks that they brew, but yeah, I don't have time for that this morning. Okay, on my way in, walking up to the Bundaberg Magistrates Court. So yeah, I'm just about to go in and meet my client, sit down, go through a lot of our material, paperwork, explain how it's all going to play out in court, go through my submissions with him, and then hopefully we can get on pretty quickly, and then get back on the road and head back home. Just finished up here in windy Bundaberg, absolutely blowing a gale. A very, very light matter today. It was a low range drink drive, 1051. Client's never been in any sort of trouble before. He's had multiple accidents at work. He's on workers' comp. He's got quite significant mental health issues. So to come to court today, it was pretty daunting for him. He, did want help, did want a lawyer. Magistrate was very receptive to the submissions we made. He even made a comment that he didn't want to make light of the matter, but in the words of Maxwell Smart,
missed it by that much, 0.051, just on the limit. And as he said, a couple of mouthfuls less and he probably would have made it home okay. Just about to jump in the car, drive back, so I'll finish this report in the car where there's less wind and better audio. Okay, so that was the Bundaberg matter. We had 0.051, very, very low reading, and in a lot of cases, some people might feel comfortable going to court and preparing their case and doing all the talking and submissions on their own behalf. But part of the reason why a lot of people do get a lawyer is because they know the law, they know the right things to do to prepare a good case, to speak in open court on their feet, converse with the magistrate and the police prosecutions. And that's exactly why my client today got me to come to Bundaberg to represent him. It wasn't due to the fact that the offence was the most serious. His traffic record was pretty good. He has no prior criminal record. But the fact that he could engage a lawyer who could help prepare his case and handle all the court stuff, all the preparation, and take a lot of the stress out of the whole process, that's exactly why he got me involved. And I'm glad to say we got a very good outcome for him. We got the absolute minimum that the court could have given by law, which was 1 month of licence disqualification. He was given a very low fine of $150. I mean, you get higher fines for speeding offences than that. So $150, and a conviction was not recorded against his name. So it's the best possible outcome by law that he could have really got. And we did all the right things. We got letters of reference, apology letter, helped him with all that sort of stuff. He did the traffic offenders program. We even got a letter from his rehab and physiotherapist and his psychologist, because he has been going through some difficult personal issues surrounding his injuries and workplace accidents that he suffered within the last 4 or 5 years. So he did have a need to get back on the road as soon as possible, and that's one thing that he really did want to ensure we could try and do for him. He's now living in quite a rural area, a little place outside of Bundaberg called Horse Camp. There's no public transport there. He needs to get around for medical appointments, so explained all that to the magistrate, and as I discussed, the magistrate was very receptive to our submissions and showed him the appropriate leniency in this matter. It's very unfortunate that he got charged with this offence, because he was of the genuine belief that he was not over the legal limit, and he was about 300 metres from home when he was randomly pulled over. So just a very, very unlucky and honest mistake on my client's behalf. But I'm extremely confident that I won't have to represent him again, and he won't be back before the criminal justice system again. He's learned some very strong lessons coming out of this matter, and I wish him well moving forward. So that's the matter here at Bundaberg Magistrates Court, and transition. So just before I leave Bundaberg, I did want to go and check out the Bundaberg Rum Distillery. I wasn't going to go and do a tour or anything, but I wanted to just drive around and check out the actual factory and distillery. As you can see, it's on a massive piece of land. At the back of the factory, it's got a train station there with a rural train that can come through, probably dropping off a heap of sugarcane on the way through. But yeah, it's a massive piece of land. It's got an actual shop that you can go into and buy all sorts of their different products, clothing, apparel, merchandise, and obviously the different types of rum and rum products. This is the shop front right here. Last time I came here, I came and bought a couple of bottles of white rum, and yeah, it's there's certain types of rum that you can buy there that are only exclusive to the Bundaberg factory shop there, and you can't buy it in any other retail store. So yeah, I thought I'd just get some footage, show you this beautiful factory and the famous Bundaberg Rum Distillery before we head back home and hit the road. Now, after a few hours of driving, I've hit Brisbane, and the traffic in and out of Brisbane is pretty horrific. It's come to a slow crawl of about 20 kilometres an hour. I think it's going to add probably another hour onto my trip. About 4.5 hours up, but it's going to be about 5.5 hours back. Hi guys, so I think earlier in the blog I reported that on Friday I was going to attend Lismore District Court on a severity appeal where the client had a drug driving offence. He was convicted of that at Tweed Heads Local Court, and he was really worried about a conviction being recorded on his history, and wanted to appeal to the district court to try and have that conviction overturned. So that was my plan, to go there, represent him. But once we digged a little bit deeper into the matter, it became apparent that his traffic record is pretty bad. He has 2 prior driving offences on his history, which ultimately means he already has criminal convictions recorded on his record. This kind of came as a bit of a shock to my client. He's a bit of a character, and he's a bit sort of all over the joint. He's a bit of a wild man, but he was really worried about having a conviction recorded because he's got a business over in the United States, and he thought that to be able to travel back to the United States with a conviction recorded would cause his business major problems. Unbeknownst to him, he already has, he's got a few convictions on his record. 2 drink drives, there's also a destroy and damage property matter there, and also a obtained financial benefit by deception. So not major offences or convictions on his record, but it does kind of fly in the face of him wanting to appeal the drug driving offence to the district court so he can have a clean slate without any convictions on his record, because he already does. So I had a pretty frank and upfront, honest discussion with my client and said, listen, you know, if he still wants me to represent him, I'm happy to do that. I'm certainly happy to take his money off him and do my absolute best to still try and push for a no conviction on the severity appeal. But I was completely upfront and honest with him and said that his prospects of avoiding a conviction for this current offence are very small and limited. Keep in mind, I was not the one who advised him initially to put the appeal on to the district court. He did that on his own volition. He came to me after he'd done that and wanted me to represent him. But I did say that his prospects of overturning that conviction are extremely limited. And beside the point, he's already got convictions there on his record. And I just basically told him that spending his money in having me represent him would probably be a bit of a waste of money. I'd rather be upfront and honest with him, and he really appreciated that. And I mean, the last thing I want to do is go to court knowing that his prospects of getting what he wants and spending a fair bit of money with me is very small and slim. The last thing I want is an upset and unhappy client at the end of the day. So I gave him that advice, and as to be expected, he decided to withdraw his instructions of having me go to court for him. I gave him some good advice. He still was going to push on and go to court by himself and self-represent himself. I believe the appeal was dismissed, but yeah, it's just a bit of an update for the vlog, because that was going to be my Friday's matter, but that's obviously not panned out the way I wanted it to. So Friday has been a clear day. So again, thanks for tuning in to the vlog this week, and hope to see you in future episodes. Ciao.
I want to thank you for tuning into Boorman Lawyers today. You can catch us at any of the usual social media platforms. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you've got any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to contact us on 1300 941 900. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this video today. I really hope it was informative and helpful for you. There's another couple of videos below that you might want to check out that may be very useful for the process that you might be going through at the moment. Please feel free to like, follow, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we've always got fresh new content coming through all the time.